Hello, my name is Danis. I'm 15 years old and I live in Depok. I want to ask you something. Have you ever met someone who never gave up, even while the world seems to crumble to bits? I've personally never met someone like that, but there is a name that has truly inspired me for years. Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom during the Second World War, which was one of the darkest chapters in human history. Just 16 days after he became PM, the British Expeditionary Forces, or the BEF, were encircled in France. Now, Winston Churchill had to face the potential surrender of France, the destruction of the BEF, and maybe even the collapse of Western Europe. Yet, in this moment of despair, Churchill showed no signs of bending to Hitler's will. He was already forming a new war cabinet composed of his rival politicians, military minds, and skeptics. Sure, Winston Churchill was stubborn, often refusing to consider defeat. But it was that very stubbornness that would define his leadership. And that is why many people today consider him as a hero, but also many people consider him as a bad historical figure because of his views on race, power, and religion. Winston Churchill was a man of empire. Even while he was fighting for freedom in Europe, he was also holding to Britain's worst values. But even if he wasn't pure, he did stood tall against a greater evil, a true evil. Because when the world needed someone to hold the line against true evil, Winston Churchill stood tall. As what he said in the British Parliament, we shall fight in the beaches, we shall fight in the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields, in the streets, we shall never surrender. And that is why he is my role model, because of his determination and his willingness to go through the challenges to lead his nation to victory. And his eventual return into Europe and the freedom and liberty which he brought. Thank you for listening to my speech.